Well, first of all, we're tremendously excited to be here. Excited for the opportunity to get the invite to come to the Beach Bowl. We feel like we've had a really good year, very productive year. At Florida State, we plan on winning them all. We hope to be in the playoff and have a chance to win the national championship. Didn't happen this year, but for what this team is and what we have accomplished, we're very excited. Got a great opportunity to play a really good Houston football team. Hopefully springboard into next year. We are young. We had one senior on offense and I think 13, 14 seniors total on the whole team. So got a lot of these guys coming back. So hopefully we can take this opportunity, take advantage of our practices we've had here in December, which I think have been really good. Build on that, go out and play well in the game and use the experience to build for next year.
All right. Coach Dawsey.
Just kind of, I don't want to keep it random, but it's definitely been a great week here being in Atlanta. Got a great fan base of Seminoles here in Atlanta, so that helps a lot. When you go around, you see a lot of the Seminole fans here, and for us to be at this point, it's a great opportunity for us. And we got, like Randy said, we got a young team, and get a chance to get out there and get extra practices in. Well, we're looking forward to it. And like Randy also said, it's a great opportunity for us to play a great football team and for us to build connection.
Okay, thanks, Coach. Sean, I'll ask you, what's been your favorite bowl week event so far? Sort of off the practice field, more of the fun stuff. What have you enjoyed the most so far?
I'd say last night was pretty fun. Being around the team and seeing the guys play the sport. It was pretty cool seeing Brock and Francois and Darwin play basketball as they did. Kind of, they made some big shots at the end, and it was kind of nice to see the team go crazy and kind of draw out there. So that's probably my favorite so far.
Yeah, nobody rolled an ankle or anything.
No, that was what I was worried about too.
Okay. I'll have to make sure everybody's healthy. Dalvin, what about you? What's been your highlight of the week so far?
I just said the lip sync because you get to see like everybody's character and see how funny they is. And other team too, you see funny guys on the team. And we got funny guys on our team like Reggie, and you see Coach Big character as a sprint coach. So just seeing everybody's character and see how funny they is.
All right, good enough. All right, gentlemen, we're warmed up. We're ready to go. We'll go ahead and open it up to questions. If you would just raise your hand. We've got wireless microphones on each side of the room. Please announce your name and who you're representing, who your question is directed to. And we'll get the mic to you. All right, somebody's got to be first, guys. Let's go. All right, right here in the back, over here on the aisle.
Seminoles.com. Coach Dawsey, with Kermit Whitfield, when did you really see him step it up and really get developed? Was that an off-season thing with his route running, with understanding the offense more? When did it really start to click in for him?
Doing 2 days training camp. He missed a lot of the sprains or the hamstring, so we weren't really sure how he was going to come back and respond. But during 2 days, he came in with a mindset of just working and competing and playing and practicing hard every day, and it paid off for him. Had a great year for us.
Over here, Doug.
Doug Roberts from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Coach Dawsey, can you talk about what makes Houston's defense so effective, and do they remind y'all or have any similarities to the defenses that you've already faced this season?
They do a great job with their blitzing. They got the zone blitzes behind it, and they create chaos for the line up front, and I think that's a big part of their success, that they send guys in their draw linemen, all going back and forth with the different linebackers, safeties, so you never know who coming. They always stand up at the line of scrimmage, and then some will come, some will drop back. So they zone blitzes create a lot of problems with that. And I think that's why they had so much success, because they got a lot of interceptions. They got like 17 interceptions this year, so they definitely create chaos on the defensive side.
Does they remind you of any other defense you faced this season? Any of them?
Through a course of 12 games, you play a lot of different schemes, and we've seen certain elements of what they do probably from different teams. I don't know that we've seen any one team that does exactly what they do along. From a base standpoint, they're probably more like Oregon last year than anyone else would play this year. But they do a lot more blitz and things like that than what Georgia did.
All right. here.
Gene Williams, Warchant.com. Coach Sanders, to the guy to your left, since he's taken over as the starter, how has he progressed? Have you seen a change in him in terms of confidence and leadership?
Sure, as you go out and you have success on the game field, it gives you more confidence. And not only does it give, not only do I think he has gotten more confidence, I think everyone around him has gotten more confidence in him. I know, I believe that he could do it, but once you see it, it makes it much easier to know it. It's probably the same thing with Coach Dawsey, same thing with Dalvin. I would think everyone would say that. Sean handled the whole situation this year extremely well. You know, when we made the decision at the beginning of the year to go with Everett, you know, he didn't sit around and pout. He went out to practice and handled it in a very mature way. He went out to practice to get better at that and to be the best player he could for our football team. It wasn't necessarily the decision he wanted, but he tried to make it the best one. He handled it the right way. And it's amazing how when you handle things correctly and you have the right attitude, how good things happen to you in the end. And I think he's a great example of that.
Right here, Asher.
Asher Wild, WCTV. Sean, given so much talk is always about next year already, and we got the bowl game this week, but for you, how important is this bowl game for you, knowing what's at stake for you in your position next year?
I mean, yeah, it's big, but at the same time, you know, I'm looking to finish this season out the right way, especially for the senior class. A lot of the guys that I came in with, even the guys that are older, a year older than me, that took me under my wing right away. So to get to 50 wins for them is something that is probably at the top of my list of how much I care about this game. And obviously going forward into next year with all the guys we have returning. But, you know, I think sending the seniors out the right way is probably the best.
And let me say this, I said what I said earlier about using this game to build for next year, and that is part of it. But that is not the main reason we're here. You know, the main reason we're here is to try to get to 11 wins, you know, to get these seniors 50 wins over 4 year period, which has never been done before. You know, and to represent Florida State as it needs to be represented. You know, it's got a tremendous tradition, and we want to win this game for this year. You know, building it for next year is a nice byproduct of it, but that's not the main objective.
Okay, Tom.
Tom D'Angelo, Palm Beach Post. Randy, when you talk about the way Sean handled that, what does that say to his teammates when now he is coming in? If he had not played, but now all of a sudden he's coming in as a starter after 8-9 games. So they've seen the professionalism. How do you think that's rubbed off, and how much did that mean to the last 3 or 4 games to the entire team?
Well, I think the way he handled it showed a lot of maturity. And, you know, I always try to tell quarterbacks from the time they arrive on camp, everything you do is sending a message. You know, it's not like other positions. As a quarterback, everything you do sends a message. And it may not come up until the 8th game of the year in overtime. You know, that somebody remembers, you know, I remember, you know, back during training camp, Sean was late for curfew one night, so I wonder how committed he really is. You know, but if you never miss curfew, then they know how committed you are. And I think the way Sean handled it sent a tremendous message and give the guys a lot of confidence, not only in him as a player, but him as a person and what he was all about and how in for the team he was.
Okay, right here in the front row.
Dan Matthews, Score Atlanta. Sean, what has been the biggest emphasis for you to work on since the Florida game and to this point during the month off?
I think, like Coach Dawsey was talking about before, with all the different looks that Houston gives us, we haven't really seen a lot of their third down blitzes we've seen. So I think just, you know, trying to really understand them as much as I possibly can. I've seen all their games and just really stayed up on the film as far as, you know, this game. So that's really what I've definitely been focused on most.
Okay, we'll go over here. Ken.
Hey, Ken Sedero, the Atlanta Constitution. Coach Sanders, Dalvin, correct me if I'm wrong here, he was saying the other day that he thought with Jordan Tech loss and then turning the season around, it felt like practice picked up and that sort of thing. I'm curious if you saw similar things after that game, that maybe things got picked up a little bit.
Well, I think there was a sense of urgency that increased after that game. You know, we've gone a long time without losing a regular season football game. And we have a number of guys on the team that had never lost a regular season game. Just the fact that that it could happen, that it did happen, and it happened not because Georgia Tech didn't play well, but we didn't play our best. And as coaches, we preach them all the time. Usually you go out and play like you practice. And if you don't practice well on Monday, you don't practice well on Tuesday, you don't practice well on Wednesday, normally you don't play well on Saturday. So I do think a little bit of that sense of urgency as far as preparing to play did increase.
All right, let's try to get Dalvin involved here. Somebody's got.
You know, I didn't know it. He ran for almost 1,700 yards this year. I was looking at the stats coming over. I was like, hey, no,
That's a lot of
ran for a lot of yards. We need to get you the ball.
All right, right here in back.
And it's good timing because my question was for Dalvin. Dalvin, from a player's perspective, did it impress you to see how Sean handled things while he was the backup? So when he did step in as a starter, he had your guys' full respect and attention?
Yeah, Coach said, Evan was named to start at the beginning. So Sean stepped in, played a major role. Actually came off the bench that game, went right in and, he making plays. So that's a guy you got to respect. And, as a quarterback position, he our leader on the team. He lead the offense. So he's a guy you got to respect. And, I respect him, that. And the whole offense, we follow him. And, he lead us the right way. So he came in making plays. And, we love him for that, and we respect him.
Okay, all the way in the back.
Allison Posey, WTXL. Either coach and Sean, just with this offense being so young, how has this team really evolved and grown over this season? Don't fight it.
Well, I think when the season started, we knew as coaches that we would be a better team week 6 or 7 than we were week 1. And we expected to be a better team week 12 than we were week 6. And that's kind of a natural progression of the teams in general, but especially when you have young players. It's been an unusual year a little bit, and we've had so many different guys have to step up. I think we've played, Dalvin's had his injuries. Jacques had to step in and come back. Obviously we've played 2 quarterbacks. We've played, I think, 3 centers. We've played 3 different right tackles. Different left guards. It's been a season where we've had to mix and match and play a lot of different people. So to get to where we're at, as young as we are, and with the injuries we've had, we're pleased. We're certainly not satisfied, but we're pleased. And obviously, our defense has played very well. Coach Kelly and that group has done a tremendous job. We do have a good kicker, although I don't talk about kickers very often. And our punters play very well. And Coach Fisher does a tremendous job of putting the team together. It's not what the offense does, it's not what the defense does. It's what the whole team does together, how it all fits. And I think this team has really gelled together well to get to where we are right now.
Let's go back to Asher right here.
Dalvin, before the season started, did you set personal goals for yourself on what you wanted to accomplish this year? I know you were disappointed with no Heisman, but you had a couple 200-yard games. Is 2,000 yards something you thought about? And just kind of what was your initial thoughts entering the year for yourself?
No personal goal. I wanted a national title in the ACC championship. We got a returning group, confident group coming back next year. Like Coach said, we're gonna finish this year all strong. And that's our goal. We're trying to win a national title in the ACC championship. So that's my goal right there. No personal goal.
Okay, right here in St. Louis.
Don Cole from the Florida Times Union. For Sean, Houston, this is a game kind of a defining game, a lot like Central Florida 2 years ago against Baylor. Does the fact that Florida State plays this kind of game on such a routine basis, will that help you not get caught up in, all the hype and everything, and will it help you not get caught, flat-footed?
Yeah, I think that's a wrong mindset to go into the game. Sorry, but I don't think our team has that at all. Houston is 11-1, and they played a tremendous season, and I think everybody on our team respects the heck out of them, and I think that going forward, our team has the right mindset, because I don't think you can get caught up in that, because that's the wrong way to look at a team.
Right here in front.
Gene Williams with Warchant.com again. This is for Coach Sanders and a two-part question. We talked to Coach Fisher a couple months ago.
No, just remember, I'm a football coach now, so there's two-part questions. No part at a time. Okay.
We can do them one at a time.
Yeah, okay.
All right, we can do that. Coach Fisher told us earlier that this season he had delegated some of the play calling responsibility to you. And I guess, first of all, how did that come about? I mean, was that a preseason discussion that you guys figured out you'd do that, or how did that come about?
Well, it's something that he had mentioned to me actually in the off-season 2 years ago. We discussed it again last year during the off-season. And as the season was beginning, we discussed it. And he would always say, if I asked you to call it, would you be comfortable? Yeah. Well, he would call it, and that's kind of the way it went. And then during the course of the season, he called me in, went to his office one day, told me, and said, hey, would you be comfortable calling this game this week? I'm like, Coach, I always try to get ready just in case. So I want you to take it, be ready to do it the rest of the year. And the kind of way we've done it is, I'll call it for a while. He may see something. He'll call plays. He may be calling a series or two. Then I'll say, Coach, how about such a thing? So it's been kind of a cooperative effort along the way. And neither one of us have a big enough ego that we're worried about how it works out. We're just worried about winning and doing what's right. And I think so far it's worked out really well.
Well, that's the other part, as you mentioned, the ego, because I know Coach Fisher loves to call plays and all that. So what does that say? Did he put that confidence in you to be able to take over some of that responsibility?
Well, it's a tremendous compliment, no question, that he has confidence, that he has trust. It's something I've done quite a bit, so I'm very comfortable doing it. Obviously, he's done it for a long time in the same offense. So as I told him, Coach, I can do it. I'm comfortable with it. Everything else, I said, but there's no question. Sometimes you see the adjustments in this offense quicker than I do because you've been doing it for 27 years. Where I've been doing it for 3 now in exactly this offense. So I take it as a great compliment, but I also know that there's certain situations he's going to handle it better than I do.
Okay, we got time for I think 2 more. We're going to go right back here.
LakeHurtSymbols.com again. For Dalvin and Sean, is there something that you guys have noticed throughout the season that has showed you how the offensive line has grown and developed from start to finish?
Like Coach said, it was a bunch of guys playing this year. There was a lot of injuries and guys having to play different positions. So it's the set they can have this year. I just want to take all the glory to them, and the yards I ran for is all of them. And for them to grow as the season was going, they did that, and they took all the coaches from Coach Trickett, and everybody knows Coach Trickett is a hard coach. So all the coaches they took in, they go to work every day. So I commend them for what they were doing, and they grow as the season was going.
Okay, and last question right here.
When I saw last night at Ebenezer Baptist Church, you were wearing a pull over the head college football playoff logo on it. How much this week are you using last year's loss as motivation, if any?
Take every loss as motivation. I just put last year in the past, and it's used this year as motivation. It's another game to play, another opportunity to go out and show what we can do. So that's my motivation, to go out there and show what we can do. So that's my motivation.
Okay, all right, gentlemen.